On a routine flight soaring high above the clouds, a single, reckless act shattered the delicate peace that hung in the air. What began as an ordinary journey quickly spiraled into a gripping drama when an overzealous crew member lashed out at a poised and unassuming passenger. But in a twist that defied all expectations, the traveler's response, calm, deliberate, and resolute, set off a chain of events that would reverberate far beyond the confines of the cabin. This real-life tale, brought to you by Sona, unveils how one fleeting misstep unraveled a web of entitlement, sparked a battle of principles, and challenged long-held notions of authority, respect, and the steep price of unchecked pride. Prepare to be enthralled as this extraordinary story unfolds, pushing you to rethink the fragile balance of power and dignity in our everyday encounters. The tension had been brewing long before the pivotal moment erupted. At 30,000 feet, the aircraft hummed steadily, slicing through the sky with mechanical precision. In the hushed elegance of business class, Elena sat quietly, her composed demeanor radiating a quiet strength that belied her simple attire. Her steady gaze and subtle grace hinted at a life shaped by resilience, a woman who had weathered storms without fanfare, her character forged in the fires of silent endurance. Meanwhile, Tara, a veteran flight attendant with a crisp uniform and an air of self-assured superiority, patrolled the aisle with purpose. Each step she took carried the weight of her tenure, as if her years of service had bestowed upon her an unshakable right to command those around her. From the moment their paths crossed, Tara's scrutiny was unrelenting. What started as a routine check of Elena's boarding pass morphed into an interrogation laced with condescension. Tara's sharp tone and probing questions suggested an unspoken belief. Business class was a privilege reserved for those who flaunted wealth, not for someone like Elena, whose understated presence didn't align with Tara's rigid expectations. Whispers rippled among nearby passengers, some exchanged incredulous glances, others murmured in quiet solidarity with Elena. The air grew thick with unease as Tara's subtle jabs and pointed looks painted a picture of misplaced arrogance, her judgment seemingly tied to the absence of designer labels or flashy accessories. As the flight wore on, the atmosphere grew heavier with every passing minute. Small moments of friction, each trivial in isolation, began to stitch themselves into a broader pattern of disrespect. When Elena's call light flickered on by mistake, Tara's biting remark implied carelessness, her words dripping with disdain. With each curt comment about Elena's modest appearance and every dismissive gesture meant to diminish her, the cracks in Tara's polished facade widened. Yet Elena remained a pillar of composure. Her silence wasn't weakness, it was a testament to her self-respect, a quiet defiance in the face of unwarranted scorn. The situation reached its breaking point midway through the journey. Elena rose to use the restroom, a mundane act that somehow became the spark for Tara's mounting frustration. Blocking the narrow aisle with a steely glare, Tara unleashed a barrage of accusatory questions, her voice sharp with indignation. The exchange escalated quickly, veering from protocol into personal prejudice. Tara's irritation seemed to boil over at the very existence of a passenger who didn't fit her narrow mold of what a business-class traveler should be. Then, in a moment that stretched time itself, the unthinkable happened. Fueled by a toxic blend of anger and wounded pride, Tara's hand shot out, striking Elena with a resounding slap that echoed through the cabin. For a heartbeat, the world stopped. The hum of the engines faded into a stunned silence as every head turned, eyes wide with disbelief. The air hung heavy with shock, the sound of the blow lingering like a thunderclap. But amidst the chaos of gasps and murmurs, Elena's response was nothing short of astonishing. Instead of recoiling in fury or crumbling under the assault, she reached for her phone with a steady hand. Her voice, calm and unshaken, carried no trace of the turmoil around her as she placed a call, a single, decisive action that would shift the course of everything. On the other end of the line, a voice answered with brisk authority, a voice accustomed to wielding influence in corporate boardrooms and commanding respect without raising its tone. The conversation was brief, its brevity underscoring the quiet power of someone who righted wrongs with swift precision. That call wasn't just a reaction, it was a revelation, exposing a fundamental truth. Dignity and respect are non-negotiable, no matter one's title or uniform. As the implications of Tara's actions began to ripple through the cabin, the mood shifted from stunned silence to a palpable demand for accountability. Crew members, once passive onlookers, exchanged uneasy whispers. A senior executive soon emerged, his stern expression signaling that the matter was far from over. In the cockpit, where order reigned supreme, Tara was summoned with no room for delay. There, the cold machinery of airline protocol met her personal failing. Questions were posed in a tone that tolerated no excuses, each response reinforcing a core tenet. Authority must be tempered with humility and fairness. Tara's carefully constructed sense of entitlement began to crumble under the weight of her own misjudgment. Then came the turning point. Without fanfare, Marcus, the airline's owner and Elena's husband, stepped into the fray. His presence carried a quiet gravitas that silenced even the most skeptical onlookers. In measured tones, he recounted the incident, his words cutting through the tension like a blade. He made it clear, the breach of respect and abuse of power were intolerable, regardless of Tara's years of service. For Marcus, this wasn't just a lapse in judgment. It was a violation of the airline's very ethos. Every individual, no matter their status or appearance, deserved dignity. His message was unwavering. True authority stemmed from trust, not coercion. In a private meeting after the plane touched down, Marcus delivered his verdict with unflinching resolve. The documentation was meticulous, the decision final. Tara's employment was terminated, her years of service dissolving in an instant. As the official letter was handed to her, the full weight of her actions settled over her like a shadow she couldn't outrun. The dismissal wasn't just punishment, it was a profound lesson in the necessity of empathy and respect, a reminder that no one is above accountability. Through it all, Elena remained a beacon of integrity. She didn't lash out or seek vengeance. Her calm resolve and measured response illuminated the essence of true strength, not in dominance, but in the quiet certainty of her own worth. Her conduct stood in stark contrast to the chaos that unfolded, offering a living testament to how dignity could triumph even in the face of adversity. As passengers disembarked and the story of the flight began to spread, a deeper reflection took root. What had transpired wasn't just an isolated act of misconduct, it was a powerful reminder that respect forms the bedrock of any community, whether within the tight quarters of an airplane or the wider world beyond. The airline responded swiftly, reaffirming its commitment to ethical conduct and ensuring that the lessons of that day would shape a culture where every person was valued for their inherent worth, not their outward image. Real Life Stories now presents this account not as a tale of ruin, but as a compelling narrative of accountability and transformation. The mid-flight clash serves as a beacon, urging those in positions of power to wield their authority with care and humility. Every interaction, no matter how small, holds the potential to build or erode trust, and for those who choose arrogance over understanding, the fallout can be swift and irreversible. In the aftermath, as Tara was escorted through the terminal, her belongings gathered in silence, the message was unmistakable. No one stands above the basic human right to be treated with decency. Her public fall from grace, though painful, underscored a timeless truth: true power is inseparable from compassion. Each step she took away from the plane marked a departure from a life built on illusions of superiority, a life now forced to confront its own rebuilding. This story, shared with thoughtfulness and integrity by Real Life Stories Now, invites us all to examine our own actions. It challenges us to see that the influence we hold is only as meaningful as the respect we extend. By choosing empathy and fostering genuine connection, we can turn moments of conflict into opportunities for growth and redemption. What began as a routine flight ended as a profound lesson in the essence of strength, a lesson that echoes long after the engines have stilled. For Tara, the once unyielding attitude has given way to a humbling reckoning. Facing the consequences of her choices, she now grasps that real strength lies in recognizing our flaws and treating others with sincerity. Her downfall has sparked a quiet transformation, a shift in perspective that reminds us all of the primacy of empathy over authority. As the echoes of that flight linger, they ripple through our lives, proving that a single act of unchecked pride can become a catalyst for change. Let this unforgettable chapter inspire you to reflect on your own interactions. If this story moved you as it did us, please like and share it.